Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Heartland Mamas. I'm Marie Briel.
And I'm Heidi Henry, practicing safe distancing from my studio in Marseilles, Illinois. I have a picture of Marie right here because Marie and I are trying to follow the governor's orders and not be in the
Of
same
social
place.
distancing.
Social distancing, we're not in the same place at the same time. And we're not real technologically savvy. So you're going to have to and kind of bear with us a little bit.
Definitely. We'll be looking for some exciting things to try and ways to keep you entertained and informed as we move forward with this. But be sure to like, subscribe, and share because if you don't, you won't know what crazy and fun things are going to be happening in the next few
You
weeks.
won't know.
Uh,
And
No, you won't. Demcastusa.com or any place you get your usual podcasts.
And of course, since you've got tons of time and not much to do, 81 episodes of Heartland Mamas, Heartland Mamas, MAMAS.com. And you can see the changes in the studio, my hair, Marie's outfits, as our evolutionary process changes. And realize today that you can get it on YouTube on your smart TV and you can see up close and personal.
And here's the best thing about today. I know that the coronavirus is scary for a lot of folks, and we are going to dig into that. But I've been asking Heidi since we decided to do this podcast over a year ago to do shows in our pajamas. And then Angela McDonald, we need to shout out to you, has reiterated that we needed to be camera ready.
Oh God, Angela,
And
that will
so
never happen.
today is a pajama day, and you cannot
For
see
Murray,
me,
for
but
Murray.
I want you to know I am in my jammies, and this is heaven.
Now, Murray didn't drop the pajama jammy jam on me until I already came in here and set up today. But I do have my deep state sweatshirt on, and you know why I have that on, Murray? Because our president referred to our State Department
Holy
as the deep State Department. Are
holy
you
shit. And Mike Pompeo was standing
right
behind
there?
him.
He's
Mike
right
Pompeo
there.
is running the department. And then oh my God. And then you saw Fauci like,
Face palmed.
I
He now don't
yeah.
touch your face, and then he's like, oh, it's like, how can he stand behind him the whole time? Every time. Now I know, Murray, you're more likely to watch the presidential broadcast than I am. I will watch. Because we live here in Illinois, I will watch the JB Pritzker ones. It's JB at 3. We know every day, 7 days a week, JB Pritzker, our governor, is going to be on television. JB at 3. And we're going to get we're going to get the most amazing, concise, no conspiracy theory.
Something that I noticed when
Yeah.
I was watching the other governors coming out and talking and holding their press conferences and mayors,
Yeah.
all of them have an interpreter, a deaf American Sign Language interpreter. I have not seen one ASL interpreter at the federal government level.
And you also don't see it
anything
in Spanish either. And the remarkable thing about our team in Illinois is that they will deliver it in English, and then the same person delivers it in Spanish because we have smart people in Illinois.
Exactly.
And it's like Trump so hates immigrants and anybody he considers to be lesser or imperfect or impaired or anything. I mean, infamously making fun of the disabled reporter when he was running for office. That's why we don't have those, And Murray, have you also noticed in his press conferences, it's like watching one from North Korea right now, where they have to say, our most beautiful ruler and the smartest man on the planet, Donald Trump, has now done. And it's like, I'm sorry, Murray. I know you are so much better at watching and listening to that stuff than I am. It's like my bullshit meter goes off and I'm done. All it is violent swearing in my house at the television, and ain't nobody got time for that. Not me anyway.
So we have talked about this on a couple of different occasions, and we've talked about the impact of the praising and whether he's actually just that stupid or if he is that insulated. You know he has temper tantrums. You know he gets very angry. You know the aides are always trying to put bad news
Diapers
in
on
with
him?
good
Oh, sorry.
news.
Yeah. Well,
So we know that. And, you know, when he said in the press conference, again, when he went after that reporter and said, I haven't heard that, there was this genuineness there that I don't think he was lying. I think a lot of times, because of his tantrums, they keep things away from him. Jesus freaking Christ. Please, I'm sorry for those of you who are religious.
it's blasphemy
Did you know
again.
Kushner is heading up a shadow task force,
Yeah, I know.
a shadow coronavirus task force, because he did so well with everything else.
Well, you know, and I want to talk a little bit about, and Jared Kushner is going to come up in what I'm going to say next, is I am stunned. I'm always stunned by the level of grift from the Trump administration. He surrounds himself with the one percenters that have no idea how people in how most of us live, how 99% of us, 99.9% of us live, the reality of our lives. And he surrounds himself with this cushion of people that are, look at this coronavirus as, how do I make money from this? How do I profit from this? They look at this as an opportunity to profit. And Jared Kushner, I don't care if it's this bizarre Google thing that he's got his little mitts in, where it's data collection. I don't care if it is the slimy, you know, subpar insurance policies that, you know, Trump has destroyed the ACA just so Kushner can sell off the parts and profit from them. So Kushner, his wife Ivanka, right, can profit. So Trump is making sure his daughter has money in perpetuity, and her children do too, by casting off these parts of the ACA directly into Jared Kushner, making sure his daughter has money forever. And it's not for the benefit of the health of the people of the United States. It's for the financial benefit of the Trump-Kushner family, right?
Yeah.
So I look at this, and Mnuchin, Alex Azar, who is our Health and Human Services Director,
goodness.
The problem with him is he came to us directly from Eli Lilly to this position in the White House. And Trump, Mnuchin, Azar, and Kushner got together to try to figure out how to profit from the test. That's why we didn't get tests right away. He really, if to a certain point, I think those three were manipulating Trump, trying to tell him that it was no big deal, while they tried to figure out in the background, how do we make a test that we can charge big bucks for, and big bucks for processing for, and big bucks to help these people get better from it. It is outrageous that they have taken the pain and suffering and sickness and death of the people around the world and convoluted it into a way to make more money. What do you think, Murray?
Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me. Nothing about this administration surprises me or disappoints. Well, I guess the sad part is there are so many aspects. There's questions about, okay, you've evoked the War Powers Act, right? The Manufacturing Production Act. He can be requiring things to be made right now,
but
and yet he's only talking to one or two businesses. He's trying to find a way to make a profit out of this.
He's trying to funnel the funds. He's trying to funnel the funds into his own entities, or into the entities of his friends that are going to funnel money into his re-election campaign. There is no...
I agree. Yeah. I would say 100%. There are too many things and too many situations. Yeah, he turned down the CDC tests. Why? Why did he do that? Or not the CDC, the WHO tests.
Which he could have gotten for free.
And my thought all along was that he was working toward this because he didn't want the cases, he didn't want the numbers, he didn't want the stock market to go down.
I think,
but I think you may have a point too, that there was another aspect that was pushing this from the financial side.
Well, I think at the beginning, and I, history books will say for sure, and I really, don't have a proof of this. except by action of the president, that his total denial that there was even an issue with this was to suppress the numbers to try to keep the stock market that's been filled with hot air and on a huge bubble for about 2 years now. I mean, it was like the housing market crisis. You know, we could see it coming in '06, or at least I could see it coming. And I used to say to my husband, Stan, this is not sustainable. It's all filled with hot air. And I said to him a few months ago, and then of course it popped. And I'm a horse trainer, not an economics major, so or not, an economist or a number cruncher. But just watching people around me, make huge financial mistakes and going, not smart, guys. So then I see the same thing with the stock market, and I said to my husband, 5-6 months ago, I said, Stan, it's not sustainable. I said, if I had money in the market, I'd pull it out within the next 3 months because we're going to explode. And when this bubble pops, it's going to be like, a big batch of Hubba Bubba in your mouth. It's just going to go, and it's going to be all over your face and in your hair and in your ears,
Wow, you took that bubble reference really far, my friend. We've got to get over coronavirus because the social distancing is not helping my Heidi.
Well, a lot of people don't know that, like, for the last 3 months, Marie knows this, I was driving up to see my dad in hospice, and the last 3 weeks dealing with the coronavirus protocol. And my dad passed away the other day, and after a lengthy illness. And so now I'm back on the farm where we practice social distancing all the time, only because there's a lot of work to do. And I literally go weeks without leaving here or seeing anybody else but my family. So we figure we're pretty good. I've got, tap water and chickens that lay eggs. So we're good.
I'm gonna say, the amount of water use has gone down dramatically since everyone is wearing the same outfit they have been since Monday. So there's really no laundry to do, and my
house?
Boys have decided showering is optional.
It's because you have teenage boys, and I swear
it's Lord of the Flies.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
It's Lord of the Flies.
I had one boy and one girl, and boys are stinky when they're that age. They just don't care,
I think at some point we had to tell one of them, "Hey, change your underwear." Why? Did you been wearing them for like a week? Like, dude,
God.
You got to do that. Because he only wears underwear whenever he's home.
And
he's
walks around the house like that?
Yeah, the minute he comes home from school or being out, he strips down into his underwear. He's very comfortable in just underwear.
I think they have a whole show, I don't know, the Goldbergs, where the guy is already comes in and takes his pants off so he doesn't have to do anything else. Anyway, so there's a few things I want to talk about to our audience today. And it's something that, when we talk about activism in your community, this is activism that you need to do, and you need to be on the phone, on ResistBot, on the computer sending emails every day about the stimulus package that's coming out. Right now, they haven't passed one, and they've talked about everything from giving every single man, woman, and child in this country that has paid into Social Security a check for $1,000. Now, $1,000 one time, Murray, for most people isn't going to help a whole lot. If you've lost your job as a waitress and your rent's coming due in April, you're in a hell of a lot of trouble right now. And $1,000 might cover your rent or a portion of your rent, but it's not going to allow you money for your car payment, your student loan payments, your medical payments, your food, your electricity, your cell phone, everything else that you need. And to me, it's $1,000 bribe to get people to look the other way when they bail out corporate America in the billions and billions of dollars. We're talking about a stimulus package, $1.5 to $2 trillion, ladies and gentlemen. Marie, do you have any thoughts on that?
It is a really tough position to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand there are industries that, through no fault of their own, this isn't the same as the banks. This isn't the same as other industries we've bailed out. So there's that. And on one level, like the airline industries, they can't fly. No one is going anywhere. They're grounded.
But Marie,
they're people need to make sure that they continue to be paid. But that's where the legislation needs to be adjusted, is it needs to guarantee that those workers of the airline industry, of the cruise industry, of what other industries we're bailing out are the ones who receive the benefits of those incentives, of those bailouts. And that's not the way it is.
That's not what the Republican Party intends to do. They intend to just give them this money and let it see if it trickles down to the people that work for them. And I think that's so grossly unfair, considering we gave them this huge tax cut a few years ago. And what they did is they took that money and they bought back their stock to cause their stock to skyrocket. They gave their CEOs huge bonuses. They didn't put
don't they?
Yeah, well, and that's exactly what's going to go again, because I really feel that these people are so out of touch with their lowest level employee. They have no idea the fact that the guy that puts the baggage in the airplanes, the fact that he can't make ends meet, the fact that when he leaves, his baggage claim thing, he's going to go out and drive for Uber for 4 hours after work because that's the only way he can make ends meet. And now Uber's down, and now the airline industry is down, and nothing is coming to save him. $1,000 is a frickin' drop in the bucket.
Yeah, $1,000 isn't going to do much at all. I mean, and okay, sure, you talk about giving $1,000 to stimulate the economy, but in situations like this, even if someone gets that $1,000, it's not like the tax bonus where everybody went out and spent it. There's no place to spend it. You don't even know what to buy right now. The local businesses are struggling to keep their doors open. What we need to be doing is bailing out the mom and pops, the frontline workers.
Oh my God,
we need to be giving them the most important. So I have a very good friend who runs a business in Plainfield, and she is extremely talented. She owns it. She's amazing. And she's keeping her place open for carry out and delivery. Well, she was talking about how hard it is for her. She employs 70 people.
Oh my gosh.
And employs them at an above average wage. She employs them really well. She's and the banks won't take a look at her.
No.
The insurance companies, she has dram shop because she has alcohol.
Yeah.
And they won't drop the dram shop even though no one is in the building because of regulations. And that would be thousands of dollars a month she wouldn't have to pay because no one is in there using that space.
Right.
And that's additional money. And she's losing money one way or another. And she's keeping the doors open to keep her employees employed. And do you know that she can't keep everyone working? And she's trying so hard to keep as many jobs going as she can, that every day she has her employees and their families welcome to come in and she feeds them.
Wow. That's incredible. And
that is the frontline people that we need to be helping. There's no federal. We had this conversation, and I'm like, I'm looking for the federal legislation. I'm looking for our state. I know you need it, and we've got to be able to help them.
Well, and I know Maxine Waters in the House, Nancy Pelosi, Senator Warren, Senator Sanders, Senator Gillibrand, and a few of the others have come forward with guidelines that they want to see adhered to for these stimulus packages, where the money cannot go to stock buyback, cannot go to CEOs, and if it is used in such a manner that the CEOs can actually go to prison, which I'm all in favor of. I think allowing these people to get by with a slap on the wrist and not holding them physically accountable, where getting them where it really truly hurts, is
financially and power wise.
Well, I think if you take one of these 1%ers or upper 10% of the 1% and stick them in prison for a while for being a dickwad during this time, it may actually sink in and make a difference. Today we found out, changing the subject drastically, and dicks with ears, Rand Paul has contracted the coronavirus, and couldn't happen to a better guy. And
I was gonna say that, and then I'm like, that's not very charitable,
I
and you went there
know,
for
and
me.
you know
Good.
that I'm
Send
a
the
very
hate mail to Heidi.
I know.
That's Heidi Henry
You know what?
instead of me.
Here's the thing with him. He voted against helping people for coronavirus. Okay, he voted against helping people for coronavirus. He votes against anything and everything that may help his fellow Americans that are not him. If it's him or somebody above him, he's all for it. But anybody who is out there, you know, having a produce stand, and that's how they you know, support themselves, doing home daycare, licensed home daycare. He doesn't give a damn about them. And the fact that, now we have a high profile person with it, perhaps he'll feel the pain and understand the importance of helping your fellow man. And
No, I'm sorry, Heidi. Steve mentioned that.
Yeah.
He said something along the lines of perhaps it would be good, and maybe now they'll start taking action.
No.
But we need to look and say they won't. They were freaking shot, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The congressional baseball team was shot at, and one of their members was wounded.
Yeah.
And they did nothing about gun sense. They will do nothing about this because they have great insurance, because they got tested, because they have no idea what this is going to impact anyone, and they don't care.
And I think that's the thing with Rand Paul, is everything he does shows that he just doesn't care. And when I tell somebody that they don't care, it's not that it's by their words, but by their actions, because it shows in everything they do. It shows in everything our president does and says. It shows in everything Rand Paul does and says, everything that Mitch McConnell says and does. When it's your actions are the definition of how you believe. And when Rand Paul repeatedly backs the president, doesn't back stimulus, doesn't back helping people with COVID, doesn't help immigrants, doesn't help healthcare, nothing. He is like an empty shell, a perversion of humanity. So,
wow.
Seriously.
All right. I'm totally, I agree with you 100%. I just like that terminology, a perversion of reality. That was very good.
No, humanity.
It was nice. Oh, a perversion of humanity. Oh, yeah. I think reality too. Oh, wait. Yeah. A perversion of reality is the rest of the Republican Party.
Oh my God. I can't imagine. I can't imagine how they got to that point. They're so disconnected with reality. And, here in Illinois, we just unloaded a terrible Democrat named Dan Lipinski, who was so disconnected with reality that he didn't care. His actions spoke louder than words. He just totally did not care about the people he represented in Congress. And finally, after years, and this was a heritage seat, so he inherited it from his father. Finally, we got rid of some dead weight in the party. I'm so glad he's gone. And there's others like Rand Paul that need to go too.
COVID, take me away. Sorry, I didn't mean to riff on the Calgon.
Yeah.
Commercial.
Let's talk a little bit about how effective this 2-week stay in place or shelter in place thing will be, Murray.
Okay. So the only way that this is going to be effective is if we actually do it. And I know people are afraid and people are concerned, but they have to understand something. Being at home does not mean that you go to your produce store and then you go to the ice cream store and get curbside to go, and you go to the bookstore and pick up books. That is not essential. Yes, it is essential to support those businesses, but we need to start being smart about how we do that. Every time you're out, you risk exposing your family and others. We have to stay at home. Essential doesn't mean I'm out of lavender oil and I have to go get it now. Essential means, hey, we're wiping our ass with political mailers. Let's get some toilet paper. People have to understand the difference here, and they're not. And that's concerning to me. So if we don't stay home, we're not going to fix this. And what frustrates me was listening to the the presidential press conference, or I'm sorry, I'm not going to call it the federal press conference the other day. And Mike Pence was saying, we are 5 days into our 10-day, we've got about 7-8 days left to our 10 days to slow the curve. I'm like, dude, one, no, we're not. You started this slow the curve thing 4 days ago, but there's no mandate. There's no order.
No.
We have governor of Mississippi just stating, go to hell, Alabama. I'm keeping the beaches open.
Right.
Okay. There needed to be a strong centralized response, and there isn't. And that is so incredibly dangerous. And if you consider that we're telling people, oh, there's only about 7 more days, 6 more days left in the 10 days to slow the spread. That only happens if we all start
on the same day
together. Right. Oh, yes. Because here it is. When we talk about it, the last person to go out, when they go inside and decide to stay in and start doing social distancing and what they're supposed to, we can count about 2 weeks after that.
Right. When the last
and
person,
until then,
if one person violates it, we reset the clock. That's how it works. And so if you're out there thinking, oh, you know what, I really need to run to the store for beer. No, you don't. You don't need to do anything in the next 2 weeks. I had somebody point out some of the hypocrisies that are part and parcel to this shelter in place. The fact that liquor stores and gun stores are open still, and that we have cigarette stores that are still open. Those are not essential services. Those are not essential products. You don't need them. I don't need to run out and get smokes. Maybe Murray does. Oh, no, Murray, you're a smoker. That could affect you. But you know what? The gas station sells cigarettes. The gas station sells beer. If you got to go, some probably sell guns if you got to go.
And I think that's walking the line between keeping businesses so that they're able to not be completely economically crushed and keeping people safe. And it's a terrible line to be in.
Well, you said lavender oil. I actually do know somebody that ran out because they ran out of lavender oil and went to the store. No, seriously.
No.
And they went to the store to get some because they couldn't get it from their doTERRA representative fast enough.
Okay. Essential oil friends. And those of you who are crunchy, I understand. Heidi and I are both very natural people in many, many ways. But your essential oils, your doTERRA, your Young Essence, your Living
those
Squeezy,
will all come in the mail.
whatever the frick you use is not going to prevent or help you fight off the coronavirus.
But people,
your garlic-soaked water blessed in heirloom tomato juice with a spritz of lavender isn't going to do shit. Stay your ass at home.
And I don't disagree with you, but people who are really into essential oils, and I'm not, will tell you that they'll cure everything. From your lumbago to your hammer dough. I'm
sorry.
It's okay. It's somebody who takes a lot of supplements. I feel for him. I mean, people are always looking for something that'll work, but trying to cross that fine line of what is essential and what is not essential. I'm sorry, a liquor store is not essential. A gun shop, not essential.
Going out to get a lottery ticket is not essential. Because the who knows if the state lottery will even be there in 2 weeks.
Oh God!
Right? Like seriously, that is not essential.
It's so long.
My husband, my jackass husband, went out to get a lottery ticket just for that purpose.
No way.
And I told him, you stand outside for 12 hours in the cold. I will hose you down twice with Lysol. What is wrong with you?
Well, you know what? I want to give you some good advice because my that I got from my daughter's doctor and from the team at my father's hospice, and some easy things that you can do that'll help keep your family healthy and help you be healthier. As healthy as you can be in this time. If you have to go out and work retail, my daughter is working at a grocery store right now. She works mostly at the farm, but for socialization, she picked up a part-time job at a local grocery store just before this all hit the fan, and she really enjoys it. She enjoys the social contact. Her doctor, I was in the doctor's office with her the other day. Her doctor said, if you're going to be handling money, you should be wearing gloves and make sure those gloves don't touch your face. So there's a lot of germs on money. It's very, very germy. Wear a pair of just plastic or rubber gloves that you can get, out of a box of 100 or whatever, and wear gloves when you're exchanging money. The other thing that they had given me advice at the nursing home is that I wear contact lenses almost all the time, but I also wear glasses. And when I get eye fatigue, I have my glasses on. You've probably seen some videos or pictures of me with my glasses on. And the one thing they told me about that is it's so important to wear your glasses instead of your contacts to reduce our eye irritation because the droplets can come in through your tear ducts. So your eyeglasses are kind of protecting, kind of protecting your eyes a little bit. It's not 100%, nothing is, but I'd rather my glasses catch your droplets than my eyeballs, So
Listen, miss, I will never leave my glasses on because I'm too vain. You're really wearing them?
No, it's not because I'm too vain. It's that they're an old prescription and they're very scratched up, and I don't wear them a lot because I can't see. So
I totally get that.
Yeah.
And the best part is that you can't even get new glasses right now. So
no, you can't. And the fact is that I wear them. I prefer my contacts because contact lens wearers, it's because we can see to the side and kind of behind us a little bit better, and then the glasses are all in front. So I think I have a better range of vision with my contacts in, and I have bifocal contacts, so I don't always need my cheaters, but sometimes I do, and I put them on. I'm putting on my cheaters right now, Mer. So
all right.
So I do put my cheaters on from time to time, and that gets me by. But wearing your glasses, opting for that, wearing gloves when you're changing money. And the thing with covering your face, your nose and mouth, is those little paper masks that we see won't really protect you from getting the virus. But if you're like me and you have some seasonal allergies right now, it'll help in case you got to sneeze to keep it all in you. You can't share allergies, but I'll tell you what, nothing freaks out people more than
a cough or a sneeze right now.
And the other day I was on my way to the back of Walgreens to get some stuff from behind the counter, the good stuff from behind the counter. And I walked down the cough and cold aisle and I went, I like coughed into my elbow and people just looked at me like, run away, run away. I felt so bad for them, but then part of me just wanted to laugh. So, but I stacked up on as many decongestants as they'd sell me until my trees leaf out. I'm going to be a little congested, So, but so those are some of the things I got. The other thing that my daughter was told is to come in, change your clothes right away. Take all the clothes that you have on when you've been out on an excursion and throw them right into the washing machine. If you wear your coat outside and you can't wash your coat, take some Lysol, or even in some cases you can use just some alcohol, some 90% rubbing alcohol. Depends on the fabric. Do a fabric test first and spray it down to kill the germs. But throw all of your clothes in the washing machine and take a shower and wash your hair. Lather it up good so that you can rinse out any particles, because the virus will last on your skin. The virus will last on your skin, on your hair, on your body, on your shoes for up to 9 days. Most of it is like 24 to 48 hours, but on certain fabrics or certain metals, it can last up to 9 days. And when I had to go into the nursing home, I had to use Clorox wipes on my shoes. So I just want you to know that it's really important to take care of the things.
Wow.
Easy to do, easy not to do, as my friend Jim Rohn would say. So take those little precautions And the worst thing that can happen to you is that you won't get bronchitis, bronchial pneumonia, bacterial pneumonia, a cold, a flu right now,
Strep
even
throat.
strep throat, rotavirus. All of those things go around and love to be handled at this time of year. So the social distancing and these extra precautions will keep you from getting sick. So from a host.
Well, I think we have given some great information, and sort of thanks, guys, for tuning in so that we could unload a little bit and
Yeah.
hopefully see the direction that things are going in the right direction.
Right. Right. And there's some things we're going to be talking about, a show in the next 2 weeks about boredom busters, things you can do at home. I homeschooled my kids for a while, so then I sent them back to public school because
Well, we're
I'm a
going to talk
working
about
mom.
education.
Yes.
And the coronavirus. We're going to talk about those impacted by the virus, including kids.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about, great, there are places that have set up, the school districts all have lunches available, which is fantastic. But if you're in a rural setting, how are those kids going to get there? How are those kids going to get those lunches and breakfasts?
Right.
You know, there are things that we're doing as a government, as a state, as a federal government that we're trying, but we need to think about things from a different perspective.
We really do. And when I was talking about activism, now is the time to reach out to your member of Congress, your state senators, and let them know that they need to stand up for working people and working poor people and poor people. You know, I know that they don't want this stimulus to go out to anybody who has not collected a Social Security check, but you have to understand that those are the people that are going to be the most not collected or not paid into Social Security. Those are the people that are the most vulnerable. And in this time, I think we need to find our kindness and
our moral center as opposed to our financial center. I think this is a great time for corporations and leaders to take a step back and say, maybe mercenary capitalism isn't the best way to go. Maybe it's time that we, as a society, value life, like Andrew said, people first.
People first. And, you know, today I read online that the man that owns Hobby Lobby is going to keep a non-essential business open because his wife had a vision from God. You know what? You could have had a bad dream, honey. You could have had a bad dream, and you're putting your workers and the people who shop there all in danger for a bunch of stupid crap they could order online and maybe should, because I haven't shopped there, Marie. You know, I've been going to a Hobby Lobby. You couldn't. There's no incentive for me to go there or to a Chick-fil-A. I mean, just absolutely no incentive. And
so go ahead and support your local businesses, but do it safely. Don't go to every local business in one day.
Nope.
You know, get what you need. Find ways. Look in on your neighbors. Look in on your friends who are business owners.
Yep.
Things are going to get really tough. We have to activate our state representatives, our state senators, our federal. Let them know that these are the folks, like my friend who has a restaurant and bar. These are the folks who are employing 70 people in the community and are terrified of not making it. These are the folks that need the help.
We're going to need all of our politicians, all of the people we elect to represent us, to do their very, very best work right now so that we can rise. I mean, we'll get past this. We'll get past this in one way, shape, or form. I think a lot.
But it's how we come out of the other side.
Well, we always rebuild. It's just what we have to rebuild. Don't become part of Darwinism and be stupid and go out and then bring it back to your family. Just don't do it. Okay, I'm done.
All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Be ready. We will be doing some new stuff. Yeah. Maybe some live face-to-face. Maybe we'll be, playing internet tag. I don't know. But tune in. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share at Heartland Mamas.
MAMAS.com. Catch us on Demcast. Thanks for tuning in during the coronavirus shelter-in-place time. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.